And we're recording. So welcome everyone to the fifth and final session of Masks, Halcyon by Gaslight. And not Halcyon by Masklight, no matter how many times I wanted to say that. So yes, I am emceeing this. I'm Kyle, he, they, and everyone want to go around and introduce yourselves, your character. Feel free to blurb something or plug your own site or whatever if you'd like, and just something about what your character did last time. Let's go with character keeper order, which I always do for some reason, and go with Alexi.
Hey, so I'm Alexi Sargent, he, him. You can follow all my gaming endeavors online at Cloven Pine Games. Be sure to check out my itch.io store where I've got a number of games available for free or very reasonable prices. I was recently on the Gauntlet podcast, and that was a pretty fun time chatting about speedy character creation and kind of building backstory in play. And I thought that was a good conversation. So go ahead and check out the Gauntlet podcast to listen in on that. That's my plug. My character in this series is Gideon Rookwood, aka Crow's Mantle. He is the doomed. He is a sad young man, very pale, very sickly, turning into birds slowly because of the cursed ring that he put on in his uncle's creepy manor. However, big developments in the last session for Crow's Mantle. We managed to trap my evil uncle Thaddeus, the Mage of Crows, in a mystical or in a a bird cage invented by a fellow member of this team of supers, such that my nemesis is now kind of contained, and we can try to learn from him how to undo this doom that I have had. So suddenly, the possibility of averting his doom is in sight. Also, he kissed a girl, so.
I think he froze.
Yeah.
Yeah, the excitement of kissing a girl has rendered Alexi frozen. It seems.
Well-known cause of technical difficulties. I guess while we're waiting for him to reconnect, let's go to you, Leandro.
Hi, yeah, here. My name's Leandro. You see him pronouns. I don't have anything to plug, nor do I have a fun fact. I mentioned this Gundam fun fact to I think every game I was on last week. I don't think did I mention this here in this one? Did I mention a fun fact involving the word Gundam?
Yeah, something about the origin of the word.
Okay, all right, cool. So I have used it here then. All right, never mind then. So I have nothing to plug, and I have no fun facts, unfortunately. Just check out what Alexi plugged because I listened to that episode of the Gauntlet podcast. It was interesting. I'm playing Nellie Coleman, aka Squall, which is her superhero name. She is the protege, as in she's using the protege playbook, in that she is someone who's learning the ropes of how to be a superhero under the mentorship of a more established superhero. She has ridiculous wind-bending powers and a lot of exasperation under her belt. She has been mostly trying to corral this this wacky group of teens to young adults, try and point them in a certain direction. Mostly has kind of worked. Involves a lot of talking people down from being violent, which is all kind of worked. And a lot of trying to connect with others. It's a lot of work, and Squall has been mostly on top of it, which is amazing. Honestly, some fortitude she's showing. But yeah, that's Squall. She's doing grand.
And I think, last time we finished the episode with you getting your chance to speak to the reporter, Holly Veranda.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, she was coming up. And this is like the first chance that Squall and our lot have of getting credit for once instead of the good old Aegis Pinkertons were out and about.
Yep. Hi, Stephen. Welcome to the thing. Glad you can make it.
Hey there.
We're just doing introductions now, so you haven't missed anything.
Okay.
Pearl, would you care to go next?
Sure. Although I should plug in my laptop because it is telling me it's about to die, and I didn't realize it was not plugged in. Sorry. I'm playing Brevencia Freeze, also known as Brevencia the Brave. It's the brain playbook, which basically means no actual powers other than smartness, I guess you could call it. In her case, that amounts mostly to elaborate gadgetry. She has a questionably clear macaw that helps her out named Lobster, and a small toaster with many gadget arms and wheels and wings attached named Delilah. She's also responsible for our communication devices, which are toast-based, and tell us where to go. And basically, she's been inventing very useful and delightful things since she was just a wee babe, and for whatever reason, they all seem to involve toast as a byproduct. I suppose that's a mystery that will probably never be solved, but her main objective has been to try to save Crow's Mantle. And now that we've got the evil uncle in our clutches, she feels like the time is nigh. And perhaps today will be the day that Crow's Mantle's doom is averted for forever.
Okay. Stephen, would you care to go next? Just introduce yourself, your character, blurb
Yeah.
anything you'd like to plug.
Yeah, I'm Steven, he, him. I am playing Jack Rabbit, who is a fan playbook, the Gladiator. Jack Rabbit is, as we established, basically the team leader, also the face of the team. Pretty much all around skill, pretty much all around great individual. Things happened last session. I'm not quite sure. I think something got destroyed. Wasn't sure who did that. But I'm pretty certain I saved the day.
And you used your moment of truth, which means your nemesis is going to be snooping around.
Yeah. Sure, that will go well. I should note, I am now locked in as dumb as bricks. So that is a central, integral part of my himbo character.
Bold choice. And last but certainly not least, we've got Andrea.
Hi, everybody. I am Andrea Tapia, and I am playing the character Esther Watson, and she is the playbook Reformed, and her powers are vitality manipulation, and she was part of the criminal underground for much of her young life, and she has decided that she would rather be good than evil. But being good is hard. It's really hard. And so last session, she helped take down Uncle Thad and found that the power that Uncle Thad was gathering was really, she could manipulate it. She was surprised. Yet another form of power she can manipulate, and it was a lot of power, and it was very enticing.
Alrighty. So yeah, we left off last time with you basically trashing Flashbulb's electrical interchange slash layer slash hideout fortress thingy where you captured evil Uncle Thad. You defeated Flashbulb, revealed his schemes of like stealing the smarts and inventiveness from other folks, and came outside to see a whole mass of crowds drawn by the explosions and the whole someone destroying the building somehow. Don't know who did that exactly. And a swarm of reporters came out to all greet you and stuff. So I have to ask, let's go like one by one and ask, how are you trying to like come off to the press? Because this is probably the most attention you've ever got. Because city full of heroes, you haven't really stood out a ton until now to the general public. And let's go Squall, starting with you. Actually, you know what? You go last because you have a friend in the. Your friend is a reporter, so I'm going to let you go last and sort of nudge the narrative a bit if you want. So, starting at the other end of the screen, let's start with you, Crow's Mantle.
I think Crow's Mantle is not paying any attention to the press. His wicked uncle has been trapped in a bird cage, or at least the bird part of him has been trapped in a bird cage, and the human part of him is now at our mercy, and we have some questions for him. For the first time in a long time, Gideon is facing the prospect of maybe not eventually dissipating into a cloud of birds. And also, he kissed a girl for the first time, like today. So there's just a lot on his mind, all of equal import, and the press does not rise to that level. So I think he's just standing there, absently brushing feathers off of his jacket and like figuring out what he's going to ask his uncle first.
Hey, Crow's Mantle, come here.
What?
Yep. Jack throws his arm around you, drags you over to some of the to some of the reporters.
What is this? What are you doing?
Well, everyone, I just want to announce that that Crow's Mantle, myself, and the rest of the team played an indispensable role in resolving the nefarious scheme of what's his name?
Flashbulb.
Flashbulb, yeah.
Flashbulb, and single-handedly, not single-handedly, with the aid of my friend Crow's Mantle here, we took down the nefarious bronze giant Halos.
That wasn't a real giant. There was a person trapped inside of that.
He was pretty big.
I'm going to have you both roll Freak to see how well this goes over.
I am, though, regaling others with my exploits.
Oh, okay. Actually, that move works better for you. Let's double check that.
So I also am including Crow's Mantle in this, since they can also clear or does Crow's Mantle have conditions?
No.
Oh well.
Somehow
no
I cleared
reason.
them.
Yeah.
I guess.
I'm gonna clear my one condition though.
And yeah, you know what? I think you're covered by this Crow's Mantle, so you can shift your labels if you want.
Ooh, nice.
If you give me influence.
Oh, I'm not sure I want to do that. No, I think I'm not giving you influence. I'm Jackrabbit. This is a lot of talk from someone who got all possessed by the spirit of the rabbit and nearly destroyed this whole place.
Yeah, I did yep. I rabbited it out and took down this, as you said, the nefarious Dr. Flashbulb. Thanks for the shout out, Crow's Mantle.
Just gonna like take your arm off from around me and like, place it very firmly by your side and walk away.
Okay. Breventia, how are you trying to present yourself to the media? You're muted?
Oops. I actually think Prevencia is just sort of sitting sullenly by Uncle Thad, since she is the one who has captured the birds with the use of Delilah. But she was feeling like in a much better mood about things because she had all the fun with the juggling and everything with Jackrabbit and captured Thaddeus's birds and sent Delilah to help Esther and everything else. But much like Gideon, who has not appreciated her endless quest to try to save him from his uncle, now Jackrabbit is touting Gideon as the person who helped with this whole thing, even though Prevencia was heavily involved. So she's just gonna sit with the thing, with the uncle, because
To be fair, he was tranced out for much of that.
that is true. That is true. But it is pretty clearly Delilah who has the
It's a
bird.
fair response, but I am just saying Jackrabbit is just filling blanks in with things he's pretty certain are true.
I know. Out of character, I don't blame you. In character, Ravencia sort of developed a crush on Jackrabbit with all the juggling and the heroics and whatnot, and feels now rebuffed. So she is sort of just sitting and figuring she'll do what she always does, which is try to look out for everyone and make sure the bad guys don't win while they all go off with each other.
All right. And how is Esther reacting to the attention?
Oh, Esther is trying very hard to avoid the attention because it's almost always negative for Esther. The city isn't quite ready. The city isn't ready to accept Esther as a superhero. Even though Esther has been seen doing a few good things, they're not quite ready. And so I imagine that there's not a lot of cameras focusing in on Esther that aren't, oh, what's she doing here? So I think Esther's going to wander off and look for her friend. What was the guy with the helmet?
Crucible?
There we go. Crucible, if he's still hanging around. Esther also is uncomfortably filled with life energy, brimming over with life energy, and will look for anyone she could give a bit to. So if there are those who have obvious ailments, problems, she'll pass by and gently brush against them just to get rid of some of this overabundance.
Makes sense. So yeah, with basically everyone trying to avoid attention except for Jackrabbit, the you can tell Squall that the narrative is spinning out to be that Jackrabbit led the team in a daring rescue to defeat the soon recently revealed as evil Flashbulb, and
I mean, they're just reporting the facts.
But you've got a chance to spin the narrative because your friend is the reporter. You're gonna have to do you want to go along with that story? How do you want to come across, and how do you want to tweak the story?
Well, so long as it's not Night Watch. I don't think Squall minds at all. Not that Jackrabbit needs the ego boost, but it's better than the alternative, which is people finding out that he totaled this place. Of which, but then there are probably people who did see that, who had to be saved. So I think Squall is kind of like the one other person who is at least trying to not slinking off. She's kind of aware of having to present herself. I think she's presenting herself as the reasonable one compared to Jack Rabbit. I think like she was probably the one who's doing most of the talking, and when Jack Rabbit started talking about himself, and probably is like he's kind of trying to play to the press just a bit more. Like she was told to like at least make sure Aegis doesn't take credit, so she is like she's making sure that the narrative is that they stopped Flashbulb, that they were here and stopped Flashbulb's scheme, saved the person that was inside Talos. Like Squall's basically like filling in the cracks, and also making sure that it wasn't just Jack Rabbit who was there.
Yeah. What's your I forget what's your mentor's name again?
Black Moth.
Yeah.
Right. I think Jack Rabbit also like he basically any member of the team that happens to be on hand, he goes over and starts like preening in front of the crowd with them. And let me introduce you to my friend Squall here. Squall does a lot of great tricks with wind and air, and really her detective skills put Black Moth to shame.
And yeah, Holly Veranda, the reporter, speaking with Squall and you all, sort of the one sort of leading the crowd. And also, I believe she's Black Moth's ex, right, Squall?
Yeah, although like the way they act around each other, I don't even know why they claim they're broken up. Like, what's even the point? Yeah, that's a relationship.
They're comic book broken up.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. All right then. And yeah, you can see over, Night Watch is over on the side trying to draw the attention and steal your credit again, but this time it's not working. Yeah, you've got this one fair and square. So I guess the next question for you is Crow's Mantle.
And I would like to, and then I go over to Night Watch, and I would like to thank our friend Night Watch here for standing back at a fair distance and providing us with important backup in case anything went wrong.
Crowd
Okay.
control. Managing crowd control.
Are you trying to provoke him or just generally being a bit of an ass?
It's too bad you don't have the star playbook move for being a bit of an ass.
I think I'm I think I'm definitely doing the latter, but to be fair, it's like Monster Hearts. You don't have to want to mean to provoke someone to provoke them.
Yeah, I think Night's Watch is just going to shoot you a glare and say some stuff like, "It is so very important that we experienced heroes lead the way for these young minds who are still finding their path and need our guidance," and all that.
Yeah, he was leading the way so well. I never even saw him at the place.
So
that's how far ahead of us he was, I'm sure.
So yeah, the regular police who have gotten the story, and between you and the capture the guy who you've woken up who was inside the Talos statue, he wakes up, he backs your story like, "Oh yeah, like Flashball basically kidnapped me and was draining me of like the inventiveness." So they're dragging Flashball away to be arrested and processed and all that. But no one's really going for Uncle Thaddeus yet because, they have no idea who he is. He hasn't made the mundane news much. Are you going to hand him over to the...
Where is he? Is he, like, just sitting out in the middle of the crowd? Is he in a truck? Is he restrained?
Uncle Thad?
Yeah.
At the end of last time, we had put the bunch of birds that he turned into a invented bird cage that they couldn't escape from, and then like he like partially recovered his human form and was just sort of lying there, right? So he's in the midst of the rubble. Yeah,
he's trapped in the cage. He's clearly exhausted. There's no fight left in him. You've got him.
I'm gonna approach Prevencia. Is that where you are?
Yeah, I'm just sitting and watching over him so he doesn't get away while everyone else is talking to the press. So I'm just kind of like sitting there.
Provincia, how did you do this? Grossmental's pointing to the cage itself.
It's kind of what I do.
But the wizards told me it was impossible to contain Uncle Thad's bird form. And I like ping the edge of the cage, right? And just like, the birds in there all like squawk and flutter and whatnot. I'm like, they said there were fundamental metaphysical laws of the universe that prevented this from happening.
Well, luckily, I believe in making your own science. I mean, nobody thought toast communicators were possible either. And yet here we are. I think that perhaps their knowledge was outdated.
Thank you. You may have just saved my whole life as a human and not a flock of evil birds.
That was the goal. I mean, I'd like to make sure of it. I think we need to interrogate your uncle because I don't feel like we're out of the water yet, but he is thoroughly incapacitated unless my calculations are incomplete, which I don't think they are.
I'd say bring him back to my sanctuary, but that's his house, and who knows what tricks and traps he has there. Would it be all right to bring him to your lab instead?
Of course. We can bring him to my lab, and I can fortify. I mean, Delilah's doing a great job. Don't get me wrong. But probably it would be better to put the birds in something stronger than my toaster assistant's hastily made bird cages. So I'm all in favor of this. If you're willing to go, it seems like you all are wanting to, talk to the press about everything, and I don't want to get in the way.
Who cares about the press? Provincia, you are a true friend and a certified genius, and I don't know how I'll ever be able to thank you.
I think you're celebrating a triumph for success, I believe the move is.
Oh, yeah, triumphant celebration. Sure.
Triumphant celebration.
When you share a triumphant celebration with someone, give them influence over you and spend one team from the pool to clear one box on your Doom track. Hey, Provincia, do you already have influence over me?
I forgot to pull up the keeper.
Looks like you do based on the character keeper.
I thought I had pulled up the character keeper, but I do not see. So I'll believe you that I do.
Nice.
So yeah, please clear a sign from your Doom track.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, unchecking one box on that Doom track, absolutely. And Kyle, I assume we get the one team at the beginning of the session, so that I'm spending that right away.
All right.
Can I also roll this as a comfort and support?
I was gonna say that's what it feels like more to me.
You're right. I think that would work better. Yeah, go ahead and roll plus mundane then.
Yeah, I mean, comfort is it's always possible for them to be both a triumphant celebration and a comfort and support.
I think so. Yeah.
Cool. Sorry, navigating to the rolling room.
Quite all right.
Arguably clear macaw. Yeah, you can with that influence you can adjust my labels also, Provincia. So mundane is already at 2. So this will probably be a good roll, but you could boost my mundane to 3 if you're like, I really want to make sure this comfort and support lands. But your call.
I mean, I feel like the longer term character arc and whatever else is more important than this one single comfort and support roll. So I don't want to monopolize your stats for my own comfort, as it were.
No, please monopolize my stats. That's what it means to be a true friend.
All right. So, I guess your Doom, you can just use it without using a stat. So I'm not like handicapping you in a major way anyway, right? You just mark a Doom sign.
It depends on what move it is, but yeah, there's a number of things I can do without a roll.
Okay, so I will move your mundane up And I'm gonna move your freak down one.
Guys, I'm so mundane now. Just a normal kid.
Well, just because I'm trying to
Seems
save you
so
from your
normal.
doom. You know.
What a single, six-eyed crow just like hanging out on my shoulder. That's but yeah, no, I totally
If all goes well, that ends soon, or maybe doesn't, because I think we talked last time about the possibility of letting you keep some of those powers without fully crowing out at the end.
We'll have to see. Okay, I rolled a 5, but with my mundane up at 3, that's totally fine, right? That's still an 8 on comfort and support.
All right.
Yeah, I'll like. Do you say you were like sitting down, kind of watching this, Provencia?
Yeah, sort of watching, Jackrabbit dragging you over there, and like all the press, and like just sitting with the birds to make sure they didn't get out.
I'll offer you a hand up.
I will take the hand a little bit confusedly, but
And then if like Provencia is up for it, Corzano will just give her a big grateful hug.
Provencia will always go for a big hug. And she feels much better because she doesn't really care about the press at all. She only cares about the team. So it was that she felt left out because the team was like doing stuff without her, not because she cares what the press thinks. So the hug means a lot, and she feels better, and is still keeping an eye on the birds because that Thad seems like a questionable sort. But yeah, I would say definitely it works.
All right, you get to mark potential clear condition or shift labels from comfort and support.
Do I have any conditions? I don't.
I think we managed to clear conditions in the end of session moves from last time, I guess.
Yeah. I'm going to shift my labels, I think, because it's our last session and advances I've gotten a lot of them already. Can I have a moment to figure out what labels I want to shift, Kyle?
Absolutely, yeah. We can come back to that, and let's go ahead and cut to you've got Uncle Thad, secured in Pearl's house, which is above at Breventia's place, which is above Squall's lab. And by this point, Uncle Thad has recovered enough to be glaring at you and talking like, "You fools and children, the lot of you. Ugh, this is humiliating."
It is indeed, because we beat you extremely fair and undeniably square, and have put half of you into a birdcage. So now you're going to answer our questions. Seems fair to me.
Ask away.
I hold up my hand, with the cursed ring on it, and I'm like, I want this off, and I don't want to be turning into birds for whatever nefarious purpose you have with them. How do we do that?
People in hell want ice water. They're not going to get it.
Provencia, can we make this cage smaller?
I was just thinking something along those lines. As I recall, I was told that I would be told everything, and that doesn't sound like everything at all.
Well, does he mean that there is no possibility, or he just won't tell us? I can make him talk.
I think someone's going to need to pierce the mask or unleash their powers or something. What are folks? Who wants to take the lead on this?
I am.
That's hella mundane. So.
That's true. I'm up to let someone else give this a go first, because I'm contemplating exactly how I want to approach Uncle Thad. So if someone else wants to take a first crack at him, I am very open to that.
I mean, I sort of captured him, so I'm willing to try. Although I'm kind of more tempted to let someone else do it and then to use my tactical genius to point out the flaw in whatever he says.
I'll do it. I think Squaw's kind of the one who I think strides up next to Crow's mantle and just says, "Look, there's no need for the gibberish. Just be straight with us. Just be forward about all this, and then maybe we can move to better understanding of each other. Okay."
Go ahead and roll plus mundane.
Wow, snake eyes. That's harsh. Let's see.
Can't friendship is magic, this sucker.
Yeah, it's not gonna work, is it?
We've got nothing in the pool, unfortunately.
Nope.
Even if we did, Snake Eyes is kind of hard to pull your way out of.
But hey, that's an advance for you, Squall.
Hey!
Hey!
Wow.
Yeah. Thad just looks at you like, Squall, right? The jumped up protege of that pitiful detective. I've run into her more times than you can believe, and she has never once caught on my tail. Your teacher's a fool, and so are you. You pathetic child. You're so far and over your head, you can't even see the sky. And I think you're going to take a condition.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. I think probably take. Let's see. How does this make her feel? Probably angry. I think he doesn't really. I think it's more that. Yeah, no, I think she's just angry. To crack at more about her and her mentor. He doesn't really have a leg to stand on. He's in a cage. I think like Squall just kind of like, okay, so I guess you have to stay in that cage. I don't know. And then,
Mental reaches out and like puts like a hand on Squall's shoulder, saying like, "Hey, don't let him get to you. He's just trying to rile you up."
I think Provencia says, "Excuse me, you're both in my home and my bird cages, and I don't like your tone." And she takes out a piece of extremely burned toast and like throws it at him and hits him in the face.
Look, the truth is, boy, I don't have the faintest idea how to undo your curse. That ring was a curiosity I was working on. I never finished my research. I don't know how it works, and I don't know how to undo it.
What's your best idea?
Yeah, let's say this were on your finger and you were slowly dissipating into birds permanently. You're a smart guy. What would step one be to try and solve this problem? And I'm invoking my move here, Words of the Past. When you seek the guidance of one of your elders or a member of your legacy, tell them a problem you face and ask them a question about the problem. They will answer it honestly and tell you what to do. Take +1 ongoing if you listen. If you go your own way, mark potential.
Yeah, he's going to look at you like, well, my first step would be acquiring a colossal amount of magical power, like, say, from a runic piece of wood that was stolen from me by someone like you. Or then maybe harnessing the power of the Niagara Falls power plant. But then again, that was thwarted by you. So in case you have a third immense reservoir of power lying around...
You kind of do, and also you weren't going to use those things on the ring, so please stop trying to deflect unless you want more toast thrown at you.
No,
I can make sure it's crumbly and get in your eyes.
It's Provencia. That's actually a good idea. And he says, "Thanks, Uncle Thad. I'll take your advice." and then disappears in a in a burst of ravens. Because I'm gonna portal over to the Parliament of Wizards and borrow back that runic wooden artifact from the disastrous party of the previous weeks.
I was thinking that Esther could be a power source. Like, is life force not a kind of power that would work?
I'm fascinated to try that out, but at Crow's Mantle's first instinct is like,
That's
oh yeah,
fine. I'm just
let's
curious.
steal back that thing from the wizards. That's a good idea.
I can definitely facilitate the movement of power.
Okay. I think it is going to be a bit more complicated than just portaling over and just grabbing the thing. Just for the record.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm happy to have you cut away to other stuff going on and then like check back in on how Crow's Mantle is doing on this front.
Absolutely. I think after Crow's Mantle portals away, the sort of radio the radio is on in the background. News announcement goes on and being like, in this shocking arrest of the former hero Flashbulb earlier today, electrical disturbances continue and in many cases have grown worse over time, even though the interchange has been completely shut down. There are power surges out of nowhere and devices are just failing at the moment. And a strange, mysterious glow has appeared in the skies over Halcyon City.
Sounds like it's back to work. God, where's the Crow's Mantle go? Revenge, is that cage gonna hold him? Oh, who am I kidding? That's gonna hold him, right? You're Revenge. You
Pick up the cage and shake it a bit. Yeah, looks pretty looks pretty steady.
You're muted, Pearl.
Once we got back to my lab, I think for Delilah's sake, I took I have many oddities in my lab, and I'm sure one of them is a cage of some sort. And I think I relieved Delilah of the responsibility of holding the birds and have put them in a very, very sturdy cage where they don't have a lot of room to move around. Alas.
And
like,
one last...
The drained Uncle Thad is just like tied to a chair next to them or something.
Yep.
Cool.
One last little bit of news from the radio. In other very strange news, a new superpowered individual has appeared in town recently, just later today. He came out of nowhere only to capture the flying individual known as Magpie in a strange in a massive confrontation in the middle of public. He brought the individual down and appeared to have ripped the wings off of her, strange glow and power flowing out of the suit and into him. When
bad luck on her. I mean, happening twice in 1 week.
Oh, gosh.
When asked about his identity, he responded that he was only known as the Hunter. I believe that was the name of your nemesis?
Yeah.
All right.
They
and
can't steal my things. I did that.
Wait, what exactly was reported? Someone...
the Hunter showed up, brought down the flying magpie person you fought back in session 3, I think.
I did that.
Yes, and then stole the power out of her suit.
That I did not do. I did get the plans for it, though.
So this is a superhero.
It's Jack Rabbit's nemesis.
Yeah,
I think you can just
So
Yeah,
Jack Rabbit is a villain.
Yeah, he goes around hunting folks and eating their power.
Sounds like a friend of mine.
And on that note, I think I'm gonna call a break. We can meet back up at 1:30 the hour.
Sounds good to me.
Great. See you all then. So yeah, sorry, I just turned the recording back on. And I've got to ask, Jack Rabbit, You know your nemesis is back in town now, and you know that you made a bunch of headlines today. What's going through your head right now?
Hmm. Now, I guess. Look, I mean, the last time I tried to do that. The last time we fought, it didn't go so well for me. But I mean, I got Squall and Crow's Mantle and Prevencian. Fourth character's name.
Esther.
Right, Esther. I mean, they make a good, like, posse. I'm sure that I've made some headlines. Squall apparently knows someone in the news. Maybe if we make some more headlines, we can put this fight on where we want it. You're muted.
Sorry, fair enough. Now, how familiar are your parents with your superheroics again?
They're they're familiar, if only because, like, I'm too dumb to keep things a secret. Like, I think we established they're kind of a bit worried about this and don't entirely think that I am great as a superhero, but
They know, but they don't approve.
yeah.
Sounds good. And yeah, Esther, it's been a bit of time, passing since we've checked in with, basically, do you want to roll your time passing move for your friends in low places?
I don't know what that move is, but sure.
Oh, you just roll 2d6 plus your highest obligation, which is 2 in your case.
Mm-hmm.
Also, just because you brought up the fact that, like, your powers are similar, is the hunter your grandpa, Esther?
Sure. Yes, the hunter, and I see absolutely nothing wrong with what he's doing. He's helping the city. He got rid of enemies. I just rolled 6 plus 2.
Okay.
We're just related to all of our villains.
Is this like, when you say got rid of your enemies, are you including Jackrabbit on that list?
Well, you're not a villain.
Okay.
Neither is Hunter. I don't know what's wrong with you. He's helping the city.
All right. On
I mean, you did try to kill me that one time.
Well, did you get in his way of helping?
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, on a 6 plus your obligation, that works out to an 8, meaning your contacts come to you asking for a favor.
Okay.
And yeah, you were looking for Crucible earlier, so I think we can just flash back to a little discussion you had with them, but while everyone else was distracted.
Sure.
So yeah, they're just gonna be asked, like, Esther, what happened in there? I saw the whole building come down.
Well, yeah, it came down because Jackrabbit went a little crazy again. Well, it really was that light bulb guy, what was his name?
Flashbulb?
Yes.
Yeah.
Light bulb, flash bulb, whatever. He was just a pawn of Thaddeus. All he did was collect energies and intellectual energies from all of these people, not really knowing what he was going to do with it. However, Thaddeus knew what he was going to do with it. It was layers upon layers of stupid. However, that energy was sweet. I had no idea that I could manipulate it, but I can. And I'm quite impressed. Saved it quite a bit up. Would you like some?
I'm all right now, but Esther, I think, and Crucible's gonna like look around at everything, and just not at the people, but at the buildings and the power lines, and be like, Esther, I hope you still got some appetite left because I think you might need to eat a bit more.
Oh, I'm quite full. Why? Oh, what's going on?
When whatever went down in there went down, it let loose a lot of stuff. I can feel it. It's my power. It's crackling around through the city. It's going through. It'll go through power lines first, but it's gonna spread. Just start taking apart electronics, then buildings, and I mean, hell, buildings might fall.
Mm.
I'm gonna need you to track down whatever this is and do your thing. Eat it.
Oh, yeah. No problem. Let me get rid of some of this first. But I think that sounds like something you're right, I could do. And that would be a good thing, right? That would be good. If I did that, it would be a good thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just making sure, you're my touchstone here on this kind of good stuff. So, all right. I will I'll track it down. Let me I'm going to make a quick stop off at one of those orphanages. I'm going to go see what I can do for some of those kids, and then I'll be ready to do this. That's another good thing, right?
Yeah. Helping orphans is great.
Yeah, I heard that. Okay, I'm on it.
Okay.
Yeah, so my character will relay that information to the rest of the team when we meet up, saying that the power surges were probably caused by what we did, and that if left unchecked, then if left unchecked, it could be quite destructive, and that I will see if I can talk with Bravencia. I think she could help enhance my capacity for battery storage. So we're going to talk about the ability for capacity expansion. And Crow's Mantle, Crucible has helped me out quite a bit. He really knows good from evil. He does. Sometimes he doesn't choose the good, but he knows it.
Okay. Crow's Mantle, is your audio working?
Yeah. The camera's just being a little finicky.
Okay. So, I think some time passes as some stuff happens in the, back at the base, and as you interact with the Wizard Parliament. And to, cut to the quick, summarize, they are not just going to hand over the runic wood to you because, okay, first of all, do you tell them that you've captured Uncle Thad?
Oh, good question. Yeah, I think I arrive and say, "Greetings, Wizard Parliament. You remember that runic wood that we brought to you previously? We're going to need that back. I managed to capture my uncle, and I'm going to lift this curse, and then I'll be out of your hair. You won't need to worry about me anymore. So please, if you don't mind, we're just going to borrow the runic wood."
Felicity Spence runs up and it's like, wait, you've captured Thaddeus?
Yep. A lot of him is in a bird cage that Prevencia built. So I think in fact you need to reevaluate what you think of as metaphysically impossible because she's cracked that one.
Okay, yeah. There's a lot of shocked silence and the lot of questions and stuff, and the gist you're going to want is they're coming to collect Thaddeus right away. They're going to want to put him in one of their holding cells because they don't trust Preventia.
To be clear, I haven't told them where Thaddeus is.
Okay. In that case,
besides a bird cage.
they really want to know that.
Yeah, it's not like we'd be keeping him at our house or anything.
To be fair, I don't think they know where Bravencia lives.
There's a little thought balloon of course mental thinking, it's a really good thing I didn't bring Jackrabbit along because he would probably just immediately blurt out where Thaddeus was.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, so I'll say, I feel like we can come to a mutually beneficial arrangement here. If you lend us the runic wood, we will remand Thad to your custody as soon as we've lifted this curse.
Roll provoke.
I'd actually like to persuade them with best interests. I will mark my doom track to use an adult move here, because I feel like this is a real there's a real chance at common ground if I persuade them that it's in our mutual interest for me to take the wood and them to get Thad once we're done with him.
Sounds good. Go ahead.
All right. When you persuade someone with their best interests, roll plus superior. And my superior is a -1. However, I would argue that I'm acting on the advice Uncle Thad gave me about acquiring this piece of wood, and so I think that cancels out and ends up being a flat roll.
Yep.
Oops. Oh, come on. All right. Sorry, I'm getting a little spinny thing, so I thought maybe I'd...
Yeah, since we're having some trouble with roll for your party, do we want
maybe
to...
for a second.
I didn't catch that.
Oh, I was just getting the spinny wheel of not doing anything. But if you guys can still hear me, then I guess it's just roll for your party.
I can hear you. Yeah. Oh, looks like you rolled a 3.
I'll just... What? Did I?
Yes. I just saw a 3 pop up on the dice.
Okay, I don't see anything in the roll for your party room, and it says last roll total 0.
Yeah, I think...
Are they purple dice on your screen?
Yes, purple dice, a 2 and a 1.
Okay, well, that's a 3 then.
Yeah. You're, digging into your, eldritch power to sort of be more persuasive, do the adult move, basically, and I'm going to have you mark your doom track as the hard move.
Great. Okay. Yeah. So I feeling like, oh man, the end of this whole thing is in sight. I'm just leaning way into it, and as I'm talking, a bird is wriggling its way free from my shoulder, right? It's come on.
Yeah. They're just gonna hear you out, and then they just say, "No, there's too much at stake out in the city. There's wild magic just bubbling out of nowhere. The whole city's in danger. We can't let loose another artifact into this maelstrom. Things are out of hand already. And I think we can see someone out there already manipulating the forces. It's too dangerous."
Well, I'm sorry we can't do this the easy way. And I'm going to unleash my powers to just burst into birds, and fill the room as much as possible with birds, and then kind of attempt while various wizards are distracted to swoop in and grab the artifact.
Go ahead and roll plus freak.
Let's see how that works now that my freak is also a -1. But that time I rolled
In that case, yeah. You grab it. They're scrambling to deal with the magical chaos going on in the city with these power fluctuations. Their guards are down. You grab the thing and run, and portal your way back. I assume you're portaling your way back to the party.
I think I will fly back to the party. Just looking at the shape of my doom track. So like the birds all over the place, and then like there's birds like streaming out of whatever august building the wizard parliament takes place in, and we see that several of them are holding this wooden artifact.
Sounds good. Okay. Yeah, we're back at the Proventia's place. We can cut back there. Crow's Mantle, feel free to arrive whenever you want.
Great, will do.
So, what are you all doing in the aftermath of? Proventia. When they say there's glowing lights in the sky, I'm assuming you're going to look outside at some point.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I'm pretty focused on Thad at the moment.
I'd
But
also hope that you and I can work on a battery, a storage
Also,
device.
kind of trying to get Squall and Esther to practice like the pose we're gonna make when we confront my nemesis with me.
So many things happening.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
Squall
it's in
has been
my
trying
house.
to corral all this.
When
like
you
Crow's
do,
Mantle's not there now, right?
not yet. No.
Who all is actually present?
Jack Rabbit, Squall, and Esther, I think, are all there, right? Yeah.
Okay. So, with the anticipation that Crow's Mantle will come in with the artifact at some point, I am like idly tossing crumbs to the birds in the bird cage, but clearly not going to let them out, and interrogating Thaddeus and being like, look, I know I don't have magic or whatever you have or superpowers like the others, but I am very stubborn and have nothing but time. And no, that's not true. I have nothing but time and this set of schematics for building biological wing things that I stole from Magpie. So you can stay in there forever, and I can figure this out the hard way by studying these schematics, or you can just talk. You say you don't know. That feels like a cop-out. From one brainy sort to another, I'm a little disappointed in you.
I genuinely don't. The ring was new. I hadn't figured it out yet, and he is going along with you. He's, it's your moment of truth. He's happy to help you with to solve this, if only to soothe his own ego. But he just does not have the tools to do it right now.
Okay, legit doesn't know, so he's not resisting per se. Okay.
Yes.
He could walk you through all the research that he already did. He said that he began the research and he created the ring, so he can walk you through all of that.
Yeah, maybe we can combine his research and the research I got from Magpie. And I'm like, at the end of this, what happens if you want to get out of if the part of you that's birds wants to get out of the bird cage? What happens is that Crow's Mantle or Gideon does not turn into a flock of birds that cannot be human and has no identity. But ideally, maybe keeps some bird powers. He seems really good at using them. And these schematics for Magpie, they enabled her to fly and what else, but she was not coming apart into a flock of birds. So I vote that we work together as a team. Like sometimes we're enemies. Most of the time, I would say we're enemies. You are an evil wizard. I am a superhero of sorts. But right at the moment, we could be on the same side. What do you say?
Of course. I've never had anything against Thaddeus. Or, sorry, against... I'm Thaddeus. I've never had anything against Gideon. He was... I
His
suppose
mind
he
has
was...
been scrambled by the bird cage.
Gideon was my favorite cousin, as it were. Foolish that he was. He's... didn't deserve this. I'll help you however I can, but I think something's going on outside. I'm disconnected like this. I don't have a great sense, but I have a feeling there's something going on out there. You might want to go take a look.
Look out the window.
Yeah, Jackrabbit jumps out a window.
I think I'm conspicuously not going to look out the window. I know exactly what's out there, and I have no desire to talk about it. I'm in the middle of something important.
I'm clinging to the side of your house right now.
Yeah, the ones who are looking outside, you see big glowing lights in the sky. It looks like the Aurora Borealis, but it's way too far south for that. And it's way brighter, too. And
So
it's
some sciencey stuff is going on outside.
Is it really pretty?
Yeah, it's kind of beautiful.
Yeah. Probably going to kill some people though. Like I don't know for certain, but I'm gonna say like 50-50.
Well, you're a
Preventia.
hero. I'm sure you can handle it.
This is
I
what I was
grab it.
talking to you about.
Okay.
This is the energy that we need to harness. We need a battery. We need to draw it. Come
Okay.
look.
Okay. Everybody just slow down. Got a lot of problems going on at once. I felt like I was making some headway here with Uncle Thad. I don't think you're incorrect, Esther. I may need to take you aside for a small conversation before we endeavor upon the energy draining of the beautiful, very beautiful, anybody who would have created that obviously had only good intentions, cosmic phenomenon in the sky.
You see a flock of birds just like flying by, and then like a bird like flies into one of the kind of strands of this northern light and is like instantly incinerated, and then like the other birds kind of call in distress as Crow's mantle just kind of veers around, barely gets through the window before like reforming and like falling to the ground, kind of dropping this artifact down in front of him. So I may have made enemies with the Wizard Parliament. That was not my intention going out there, but I'm afraid that is another complication for us to be aware of. Also, there's some weird lights right outside your house, Provencia.
I really wish people would stop noticing those. Okay, let me just take stock of everything we're covering here. There are a lot of bad things, right? There's Uncle Thaddeus, there's the really beautiful, pretty things in the sky.
Oh, so out of character, is this your mistake
Yes,
that we're looking
this
at? Okay.
is
Yes.
This
my
is
big
Provencia's shame.
That's
This,
why I'm
leads
being so
Aurora
cagey about
Borealis.
it.
As you say, really beautiful, pretty things in the sky, Crow's mantle is confused and like looks at Squall.
That's the gesture Squall's making now.
I don't get it.
But I'm gonna take you aside and talk. I just want to take stock so we're not
Look,
forgetting.
clearly someone's trying to threaten the city. We probably need to, it might be Hunter, we probably need to seek them out and maybe like punch them a bit.
I
I don't
think
even believe this hunter exists. It's probably another lie you've come up with, Jackrabbit.
Okay, hey.
Okay,
my
you
house,
missed
my
the news
rules. Hey,
report, but I am not lying.
I've picked up the stick and I'm like, whoever holds the stick gets to talk. This is the talking
Can I
stick.
have the stick?
No.
I have the stick. I need to know all the things we're up against because it seems like there are a lot. We have Uncle Thad needing
But
to...
if I'm not
Nope,
if I can't
Jackrabbit.
talk, how can I not
Jackrabbit.
ask for the stick?
Jackrabbit, I'm very fond of you. I just need a minute.
And to be clear, the stick is obviously the like runic wood that I've reclaimed from the wizards that Provencia
Yes,
has just
that
like,
I'm just
picked up
like
from.
waving around willy-nilly. We need to cure Crow's mantle. We need to possibly Esther and I drain the sky thing. We need to deal with this hunter fellow. I'm not really sure what's going on with that. And I feel like there are also more things, and I've lost track. What all are we up against here, people? If I hand the stick to someone, will they be straightforward and just list the things?
Kurzmantel puts a hand out.
I can also do it. I put
I'm
my hand
hopping
out.
at this point.
Like Squall just shaking her head now.
Actually, you know what? I made the rule about the stick. I'm just going to keep the stick. One by one, go around the room. Jackrabbit, you'll get your turn. And say whatever you can remember that we're up against. And if something hasn't been said, add it when it's your turn. Squall, what are we up against?
Okay, we're up against. Well, I think your list was pretty much succinct. We're up against this weird cosmic array. We're up against this hunter fellow, and we're up against Crow's Mantle's curse, which I'm gonna lump Uncle Thad into that category. Also, there's also the matter that Esther brought involving that energy that her friend Crucible has asked, although that might be related to the cosmic phenomena. So we'll lump that under that category. Unless, I don't know, a meteor falls from the sky, or I don't know, Dr. Solar comes with a mechanical robot dinosaur, because that's just what he likes. I think that's it.
I can probably handle a mechanical robot dinosaur. I wouldn't worry.
I wouldn't mind taking a mechanical robot dinosaur at this point.
But can someone remind me of what the deal with Hunter is? I legit do not remember what.
He is my grandfather. He's a very nice man. He's doing great service for the city.
That's lovely. Jackrabbit, did you have something to add about Hunter? I notice you're waving your hands curiously. This would be your chance to talk. I'm still holding the stick. I'm gonna keep the stick. It's just I have
you
my
can
reason.
talk, yeah.
You can still talk.
Okay, sorry.
What's
I was
the
holding
deal?
my breath. I was holding my breath.
Good job.
He asked you to hold your breath.
Didn't they?
Just go with it, guys. So what's your take on Hunter?
Okay, so he tried to murder me a couple times, tried to steal my powers like he has every other holder of one of the spirits. He might be gathering them. Don't quite know the purpose. Probably because he's a white guy, you know. That's what they do.
Okay. He seems like the least of our worries at the moment then, because there doesn't seem to be anything specific. So here's my proposal.
He is probably coming to kill me. That I should clarify.
But
well, in that case, that'll solve a problem for us. I also may have caused the Parliament of Wizards to be pursuing us to reclaim this artifact. That was the other problem.
Something. Okay, so here's our runic stick thing. I think, and I'm not the leader of the group, I recognize, but I'm just going to put it out there. The cage should hold the birds, which means that Uncle Thaddeus should not be able to escape. I'm going to leave this runic stick thing with Gideon and the magpie notes and Uncle Thad. And if you haven't figured it out by the time I get back, I will figure it out. But I'm hoping that Uncle Thad... Hi there. Sorry, I'm talking about you like you're not in the room. It's a complicated situation. Can figure this out while Esther and I attempt to go take on the sky. And Jackrabbit and Squall, do you want to try to take on Hunter? Do you want to be on patrol against like an entire brigade of wizards?
Remember Squall. Remember the pose. We practiced.
She remembers the pose, but she's not going to do it right now. Yeah,
Jackrabbit does the pose next to you anyway.
Preventia, what are the properties of this stick? I was not around when this stick was first introduced into your group. What does it do?
I wasn't like we haven't really investigated it much because it got given to the Society of Wizards. It's covered in
Yeah.
runes.
It's
Apparently,
a
it was
source of
being kept.
tremendous magical
Yeah,
power.
apparently it was being kept with a second Scandinavian stick. Apparently the person just collected sticks. That's
No,
in
those were the
character.
same artifact, Jackrabbit. They're the same thing. You weren't
But
listening.
then what did we steal then?
At some point, I interpreted some of the runes somewhere using like the Elder Futhark, but I don't think it was on the stick. Right? It was on the walls.
It was on the
Like,
stick.
If this is the
It was on the
Scandinavian stick, what did we steal?
Out of character, Esther, it's a really old piece of wood carved with some ancient Futhark runes that are said to part of a ritual to basically summon Munin and Thunin, the raven servants of Odin.
Okay, I understand. I was contemplating whether it could be used to form part of our battery or capacitor, but I think that I would not like to summon anything. So,
Yeah.
It's gonna
hope
be the
is that
heart of our
leaving it-
giant robot.
My hope is that leaving it with Gideon with the magpie instructions and Thad will allow them to use some of the runes, but not all, so that instead of actually summoning the ravens, they just summon the power of Odin's ravens and can imbue that into Crow's Mantle so that he will have control over his bird powers. I am trusting them to figure it out, and if not, like I said, I'll figure it out when I get back.
I'll do my best, Prevencia. I don't have a brain like yours, but if you've convinced Uncle Thad to cooperate, maybe we can crack this one.
He said he would cooperate, and if he doesn't, I will come back and I will fix it. And I will also, no offense, Mr. Thaddeus, but make things very unpleasant if he hasn't been cooperating. So here is the Futhark rune-covered stick. Here are all the plans and papers that I collected from Magpie. Please don't blow up my lab. Esther, can I have a word with you?
yeah, of course. Always.
Wonderful. So if I can take Esther into the next room.
I appreciate the smarter members of this group.
It's nice.
Right back at you.
Wonderful group. Everyone is wonderful. Jackrabbit, you stay here and guard the scene.
Goes into his guard pose.
Excellent. I knew I could count on you. So like in the kitchen or something, somewhere out of earshot. So look, I know that you have some things in your past that maybe you're not like thrilled about sharing. Like maybe you've made some mistakes, right?
Sure. They are, I would consider them mistakes now. At the time, they really weren't mistakes. They were excellent choices for the situations that I was given. But I understand how other people might see them as wrong.
Right. At the time, they seemed like a great idea. I totally understand this. So there may be something I haven't mentioned to the rest of the team that falls under the same kind of category.
Oh.
I don't think that they would understand. But if we're going to go take on the cosmic thing in the sky, I feel like I should probably tell you about it. And I'm hoping for, like, not too much judgment here.
Oh, far be it for me to judge anyone. I am learning to be good.
So I took a trip up north when I was young, and I saw the Northern Lights, and they were
Mm.
so pretty. They were just so pretty. And I thought when I got back, it was too bad we didn't have any of that here, because look how pretty they were. So, and I was just a youngin', still experimenting with creating things, and I may have accidentally created that cosmic phenomenon, and it may have seemed like a good idea at the time, but now seem to be like getting closer and closer to the ground and incinerating anything it touches.
So this phenomena that we're seeing, you created it. It's not new. It's been around for a while. Then why all of a sudden is everyone noticing it? Does it not have anything to do with the explosion at the power plant?
I'm wondering if the explosion at the power plant accelerated whatever. I've been keeping an eye on it. It seems to have grown a bit and gotten a little bit lower over the years, but it didn't seem like it didn't seem so terribly bad. But then in this last day or so, I'm a little bit worried.
I understand your worry, but I do not see you in any way as wrong. You did your best to bring beauty to the people of this city.
I wanted
that is
to.
Yes, and they, being so far south, would never have been able to see such beauty. And look what good you have done for them. You have brought them beauty. I don't see it as wrong at all.
That's really kind of you. I never expected anybody to say anything other than what the hell were you thinking, essentially.
No, I think that it's quite wonderful. The fact that it has side effects. See, I do understand this unintended circumstances. It's happened to me my whole life. I intend to help, but there's always somebody that ends up dying. So those unintended circumstances, they could be construed, especially by others, as bad. So I think that we might want to think about the charged particles that you must have manipulated from the coronal mass ejection that powered this aurora borealis.
Okay.
And I think that we could probably create a mechanism to store those particles, to trap them.
Are you wanting to expand your ability to harness energy and hold it, or are you wanting an external container for it?
External. I could draw the power, but I couldn't hold the power. I merely move things from place to place. Energy can stay in me for a little while, but I'm not a storage device. I'm more of a transportation device.
Okay.
So
here, I am interested in using a move.
Okay.
I'm trying to find where my first of all, where my vulnerability move is, and I can't find it, which is frustrating.
Scroll down to team moves. Also, I can just drop it into the chat for you too, if that's.
Oh, there we go.
I'm also comforting you. Well, that is part of it.
That too. Okay, so I can hold 2 and spend it 1 for 1 to clear a condition or add 1 team to the pool when I am with them. So I will hold those 2. And if you would like to do a comfort and support, I will certainly accept it, because I've been keeping this inside for basically my whole life since it happened. If you want to roll that. And then I have a move I'd like to use.
Okay, I am going to roll it. I'm turquoise. I don't see any other dice. Oh, now all of a sudden purple one showed up. I just rolled an 11.
Nice.
And for comfort and support, what do I roll it with? Mundane. Okay.
Mundane, yeah.
Yep. And of course, I don't know what that is. So 0. All right, so it's 11.
And I had meant to mark guilty a minute ago, because I am supposed to mark guilty when I am like faced with my shame.
Mm-hmm.
And so presumably I can clear that.
Yep. You can clear
Well, that's nice.
on hit. They hear you. They mark potential, clear a condition, or shift labels. On a 10 plus, you can also add a team to the pool, which I shall do since I have no conditions.
Lovely. What did
Great. I just added the team.
So what I would like to do, I'm going to have to mark a condition again, but I can maybe clear it with a hold if I don't want to use it for anything else, is I've used one of my 2 gadgets from Always Prepared.
Okay.
And so when I unleash my powers by producing a brand new minor invention or gadget, I don't know how minor this is, but still, I can spend 1 gadget and roll plus superior, and then when I reach 0 gadgets, I mark a condition. So I would be marking it if I succeed, but is this too major a thing to use a gadget on?
Go ahead and use it, yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to say to Esther.
Well, the word gadget implies that it's small and frivolous. In this case, it's not.
Yeah.
It's just
kind of why I
powerful.
was asking if I could just go with it, because I don't know how else to do it.
It's the last session.
Yeah.
Let's pull out all the
Do it
stops.
Go with it, yeah.
I've been working on something to try to contain this cosmic thing for a while, given that I felt pretty responsible. And I go into like what looks like a linen closet, and there's just like a giant canister with like a bunch of doohickeys sticking off of it and like a toaster stuck to the side.
Oh, I see. And communication device as well.
I mean, those can do pretty much anything, but I think this can contain the power. The question is how to get the power into it, and I think that's where you come in, because you have the power to the ability to manipulate power and move it from one source to another.
I say we test it right now. I still have an excess power that I gained from the power station. Let's see if I can transfer a bit of it into this container and have it register on your, is that some sort of meter that will say, whether it has something or not and how much?
Yeah, it's actually the toast. It's how dark it comes out is how much energy has been absorbed.
And I'm going to say it works. You get a good proof of concept that this could do the trick. And just as you get that confirmation, handy radio announcement comes out again. Surprise, surprise! Dr. Solar is attacking the city with some sort of mechanical dinosaur.
I knew there was a threat I was forgetting.
And yeah, it appears to be using some sort of giant arcane apparatus to channel and focus the strange glowing lights in the sky.
Oh, look, he's Black Moth's nemesis. Leave him to her.
Are you sure, Squall? Don't you think we should try and stop this supervillain?
We have we have a rundown of the threats we're facing. If we could trust somebody, at least we can trust some adult heroes. Besides, we've got our hands full. You've got your curse. Prevention and Esther can take care of the cosmic stuff, and myself and Jack Rabbit, well, we'll take care of his nonsense, I guess. You are actually, I think Squall's like no, Jack Rabbit's still in his guard pose, so Squall's kind of just ignoring him for the moment. And it's just like, you okay? You said you pissed off the Parliament of Wizards?
I tried to ask nicely, and it didn't work, so I turned into a bunch of birds and stole the arcane wood back from them. I don't think they're happy about that.
Well, once you've cured yourself, this curse can come, but you can go back to them and apologize. It's fine. It's fine, Pressing matters.
there's a lot of, once I've cured myself stuff, it's I don't know, it's strange. I've been living with this curse, and I never thought I'd be thinking about the future after it.
Well, that's a good thing to think about now. Something to look forward to. It's okay. What's something you didn't think you could able to do without what this curse was about? What's something you really want to do?
I mean, I, like, settle down with someone, like, if that's stupid, I shouldn't. Never mind.
Jackrabbit, you're muted.
Oh, sorry, I was just thinking to myself. Sorry.
Okay.
Well, that's a good long-term thing to think about. That's something to keep you going. You've got more pieces than you've ever had, I think, to solve this curse. You've got wood. You've got your uncle. Points to your uncle.
Yeah, I never thought I'd be happy to be working with him, but I guess Provencia got through to him somehow.
Squall, do you want to go ahead and roll comfort and support?
Sure. Got a -2 to that, but my mundane cancels it out.
Yes, because you are angry right now.
Yeah, I'm yeah. Of course, that's a 6. I might spend that team. No,
You're out. Oh wait, no, you do have one left, I guess.
I don't know if Jackrabbit helps. He's over there. If you want to help this comfort and support, you don't have to.
Yeah, sure. I mean, whatever. So someone's coming to murder me. This is clearly more important that we make the guy that constantly insults me these days feel better.
Is this out loud?
It sounds out loud.
No, yeah, but no, I'm really feeling for you. I hope you're I hope we are able to save your life at least. And I'm giving you that die.
Give me that +1.
Okay.
Are
Yeah.
you spending
Yeah.
the team?
Yeah, I'm spending the team. I'm just gonna guilt them about it.
Okay.
Kurzmental like looks hard at Jackrabbit, like trying to tell if he's sincere, and like as far as Kurzmental can tell, Jackrabbit is just totally sincere, and so he says, "Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate having a team that's willing to put themselves on the line. All right. Well, maybe I am ready to take the next steps here and see what life on the other side of this." And I wave the ring again is going to be.
Yeah, Crow's Mantle. You hear you feel a vision coming on. You can mark your doom track to make it a sort of comprehensible dark vision, or just experience it, and it'll be vague and confusing.
Let's get the clarity on that vision. What are doom tracks for if not to mark? I will take I will shift my own labels though from that comfort and support.
Okay.
Gonna go superior up, mundane down, because we have the skills, we have the technology, we can make this happen.
Yes, okay. Since you marked the vision, the doom track, you see a vision of Black Moth actually sneaking up onto behind Dr. Solar, where he's doing his typical mad science rant of, "Oh, I shall harness these exotic energies and use them for good and science and technology and magnificent revolutionary advances and all that." And just as she's preparing to strike, suddenly Black Moth is attacked from behind by a figure that Jackrabbit would recognize as the Hunter, who, falls on Black Moth from behind and chokes her unconscious, ties her up, and murmurs, "Oh, no one's going to stop this before my prey shows up."
So where are we seeing this through?
Crowsmandel has a vision, who I'm going
Oh,
to...
the vision, right. Okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so Crowsmantle was in the midst of that, all right, time to lift my curse speech, and then goes stock still, eyes go blank, blinks a couple times, and then he's back and he says, "Black Moth's in terrible danger. We need to rescue her."
Oh, I mean, I assume the two of you are running off, and then I follow after, just going oh yeah, terrible danger. I'm glad that we're helping out anyone who is in terrible danger. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think there is a moment where Squall's kind of he didn't say who attacked Black Moth. She
I don't
looks a bit
recognize.
worn.
I don't recognize who attacked Black Moth.
Yeah.
If you describe him, Jackrabbit will recognize him.
I think Squall's wait, real in danger? But this is Dr. Solar. He's
Isn't he the madman who gave you your powers?
Well, he did it accidentally, so he can't be that threatening.
I point at Uncle Thaddeus. I'm like, people can do a lot of threatening things accidentally.
Yeah,
come on.
How did that? Did you see how it happened?
And I'll describe the guy I saw in my vision within earshot of Jackrabbit.
Oh yeah, that's Hunter. That's the guy that's gonna kill me. Yeah.
No, he's not. We're gonna stop him. Come on.
And
I still feel like this wasn't on your A list of things to do until Black Moth was under threat. A little bit resentful about that.
I didn't believe you that he was real till I saw him.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I was getting you to go find the Hunter. I just had to talk to Gideon. Look, let's just go.
Yeah, Bravencia and Esther, I think between your little proof of concept testing, you've proven that your plan will work, but it sounds like Dr. Solar is trying to harness the energy himself, so you're going to have to stop him before you get the chance to use it. You're muted?
I hear you.
Sounds like we all need to go down there as a team. There are multiple supervillains, there are multiple objectives, people are in danger, and Thaddeus is incapacitated. Delilah can guard him. She's got out her power saw attachments in case
I leave one of the birds that is me just perched on the rune in the in this room, keeping since it's got 6 eyes, it's keeping several eyes on Uncle Thad, several eyes on the rune, and one eye staring off into the astral plane to possibly to warn me of other problems.
All right. Let's do this thing.
Sounds good. I'm going to call a 5-minute break. We can meet back at 33 past, and then we'll start off with your collectively engaging the threat as a team.
Enter battle against a dangerous foe as a team. See you soon.
That's the move. Okay, we cut back to the team looking on a very intimidating... Hello, cat. Scene. Dr. Solar stands atop some sort of mechanical dinosaur with a giant bronze tuning fork atop it that is somehow sucking down the weird aurora borealis glowing in the sky down into some enormous brass case canister thing. And you know from the vision that somewhere in the area, the Hunter is looking on and trying to help this succeed. What do you do?
We know that Black Moth has been taken. Yeah.
That too.
Are we assembled on a rooftop, pose as a team, style?
I think that sounds good.
I mean,
I
Jackrabbit is posing, but I don't know if any of you bother to practice the poses he assigned for you. So
think Squall immediately forgot what pose he assigned to her. Well, no, she doesn't. She does. She absolutely remembers. She just refuses to.
Esther doesn't pose. No. Esther doesn't really understand why you all pose. And she wonders if it's one of those other things about being good that she just doesn't get. Do you have to pose to be good?
Oh,
of
wow.
course,
An incredible question.
Um,
Gideon is not intentionally posing, but he's just like so intense about this that it looks like it's a pose. Because he's like leaning on the edge of this roof with like crows circling around him as he looks at this and says, "Well, it's maybe one last hurrah for me when I'm like this."
well, at least you got the pose right.
Don't be silly. I told you I'm using Magpie's things and whatever else so that you can keep some of your powers and just not turn into birds. Why is everyone here so emo all the time?
Thanks, Provencia. Squall, your mentor's in danger.
I am a ray of sunshine. Thank you very much.
Squall,
That is true, Jackrabbit.
Squall, with Black Moth in jeopardy, what do we do? Where do we strike? How would
this is where I want to roll be reading the files on Dr. Solar.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Oh, and Esther, since you came in late, I think we can just say you have your moment of truth unlocked if you want to unleash that at some point during the session.
Okay, I will have a look and see what it would be.
Okay, I got a 9.
Okay. In that case,
Okay. So on a hit, tell the team one important detail you've learned from your studies. This is specifically about Dr. Solar. So I think as we're kind of on the roof, he says Scott's like, okay, so priority would be well, we got multiple priorities, but one would be to free Black Moth because she would be an asset to this fight. Dr. Solar, he's someone who's easily distracted, and we figured that the best way to distract him is to call him by his real name. He doesn't like that. He's claimed to shed his former self, but in the end, he's still tiny Tobias Thatcher. So, well, okay, maybe he's not really that tiny. He's taller than I remember. But yeah, if you call him Toby, that's a great way to distract him.
Jackrabbit, you know what to do.
Do I? Right.
Yes, as a villain, where trash talking them is literally their weakness. This was clearly the moment you were born for, Jackrabbit.
Was that that was a 9 though, right? So I think that the MC still needs to give away that they don't match your files, right?
yeah, I
If
say
anything.
what if anything
Yeah.
seems different from what she remembers, and you don't recall. You know what? Actually, no. It seems spot on. Everything seems like you've read.
Okay, yeah, Dr. Solar seems very straightforward. I think Squall notices Jackrabbit being a bit apprehensive, and she says, "We'll keep an eye out for the hunter. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Where?
Just we'll keep an
Oh,
eye
right.
out."
Sorry, that was right. I'm keeping an eye out too.
Okay, so Esther, Proventia, you two figure out a thing to take care of that, right? Points at the cosmic convergence. So, Jackrabbit, Crow's Mantle, you two distract Dr. Solar. Esther, Proventia, you take care of the cosmic convergence. Make sure the robot doesn't get enough of it, I'll free Black Moth and watch out for the hunter. Sound good?
What about the robot dinosaur?
It'll be so long as it'll be fine. Just so long as Dr. Solar is distracted, the robot dinosaur, it seems to be actually, I do have a move that lets me ask a question even on a miss on a such situation. I might do that before we jump into this. Might as well use it if that's okay with everyone.
Sure.
Okay. That's another superior roll. 9, 10. Okay, I didn't need to. So, got 3 questions. I guess let me find those questions. What here's the biggest threat?
It's the hunter. Yeah. Dr. Solar is the big obvious threat, but you know him well enough that he's a pushover when it comes down to it. But the hunter is some big mysterious figure.
See?
I love that Jack Rabbit can hear the MC. That's amazing. Yeah, that makes sense. How could we best end this quickly?
If you could take out the dinosaur with the apparatus that's like channeling and absorbing and storing the power of the phenomenon is on the dinosaur. Take out the dinosaur and the apparatus real quick, and Dr. Solar will be powerless, and the hunter, well, that's probably his main goal too.
Okay. And I guess we're doing the answer to who here is the most vulnerable to me. That's probably Dr. Solar. Oh no, it's only asked 2, so that's fine. Okay, I thought it was 3.
You get to ask a third because of your move.
Oh yeah. That's what I was thinking.
That's why you rolled it.
Oh yeah, that's why I rolled it. Yeah. Okay. What here can we use to destroy the metal dinosaur quickly?
Ooh, that's a fun one. You're noticing that the power lines are crackling with big orange bolts of like energy radiating up and down. You're pretty sure it would do really terrible things to a robot dinosaur. If you could just trip it or push it or somehow move it onto the power lines.
Okay. And I think like as well as it says, and she goes back. All right, slight change of plans. Instead, I'm amending my part. Instead of going for Black Moth, I'm going to assume she can take care of herself for the moment. I'm going for the metal dinosaur. Everyone else still kind of the same, but you know it's a fight, so we can tweak it when we get around. But everyone doing okay? Just to put out that mom.
We're with you,
smile.
Squall.
You're muted, Kyle.
Sounds like you're directly engaging a threat as a team. So in that case, yeah, we pump the exact move. Enter a battle against a dangerous foe as a team. That's the one. Add 2 teams to the pool. It seems like Squall's the leader of the right now. Do you have influence over everyone?
I don't think so. Let me double check. Yeah, I am missing. Of course, it's Jack Rabbit.
Of course, it's Jack Rabbit.
So if everyone has the same purpose in the fight, we would add a 3rd team. What is everyone's purpose in the fight?
I'm just what you call one of those independent thinkers.
I assume you have a different purpose in this fight, then, Mr. Independent Thinker.
I mean, my purpose is to take out my nemesis.
My purpose is to show the world that I really am good now.
Yeah,
Really?
I literally think none of
Really?
us have the same purpose in this fight.
My purpose is to make sure Black Moth is safe so that Squall doesn't experience the devastating loss of a mentor.
Wow. Save the day. Stop this threat. It seems pretty straightforward.
And what about you, Preventia? It is your shame that's involved.
I think Prevencia is like overwhelmed by all of the things and is just hoping to like, yes, definitely get rid of this shame thing, but also all of the other things and to protect the team. I don't think she even has a clear objective in her own mind beyond this is a nightmare.
Okay, then yeah, you do all have your own goals. If does any team member mistrust Squall?
No, I'm with her all the way.
Okay. The team's not ill-prepared or off-balance. You had a second to see the situation, plan, and things. So yeah, you get 2 team to the pool, which means you're up to a grand total of 2 team before going into the finale fight. Good
This
luck,
is fine.
everyone.
This is fine. We got this.
I can add more at some point. I'm still holding 2 from earlier that I can spend to add team as long as I'm with Esther.
Excellent point. Yeah, feel free to chime in whenever you want to spend those. Yeah. So, who makes the first move or first engagement of the fight?
Jackrabbit jumps down. Hey, Dr. Solar. Bet you didn't expect to find me here. The guy that took down the beast after 3 days and 3 nights.
You're supposed to call him Tobias. There's a
Or
little
should I call you Dr. No Bias? Because I'm not buying that.
The little bird that's perched on your shoulder that was speaking in Crow's Mental's voice says, "Okay, close enough."
It's called a diss. Crow's Mantle.
Okay. Yeah, you're invoking one of your exploits to threaten someone. Roll plus danger.
Yeah. If only, hopefully I get a miss on this and it just gets thrown back in my face that actually I just spent those 3 days where I wasn't like trading with the team like I said I would, making out.
We kind of figured.
Yeah. Yes!
What did you roll?
I rolled, I believe, actually let me double check. I'm pretty certain I have a 2 in danger right now.
Yeah, you rolled a 4 plus your 2 danger. That's a 6.
Yep. My lie gets thrown back in my face.
And it says you also clear the exploit and take a powerful blow.
Yep,
Yeah.
That's fair.
Roll to take a powerful blow first.
Well, first off, how is it getting thrown back in my face?
Dr. Solar scoffs. Please, I raided Coney Island. I captured the beast. He told me you just spent those days making out.
I mean, at least I don't kiss and tell like some beasts do.
Take a powerful blow.
Contributing to the party already.
The bird like flies away, like making sure to slap you in the face a little with its wing as it goes.
You're welcome. And that's a 4. So 2 misses, 2 XP for me.
All right. Who goes next on the team? Because while they're 2 interacting, what did the rest of you do?
At least I make out with people, Dr. Tobias. At least I don't have to make giant dinosaurs to make up for the fact that nobody finds me attractive.
Yeah, well, that's happening. I think Skull is gonna fly off to the side and kind of like try to like using your nebulous wind powers, wrangle some of the power lines and kind of like throw them at the dinosaur Tobias is being distracted. Maybe once the dinosaur's kind of gone, then Esther and Preventia can like take care of the cosmic convergence phenomena thing.
Roll to unleash your powers.
Hell yeah. How is my freak? Freak's decent. Let's reroll this. Wow, Snake Eyes again. What? Huh. It seems Squall's good at taking stock of the situation, but practically, okay, what happens?
Yeah, as you're sneaking up to try to engage, use your powers on the power lines, the hunter pops out of nowhere, uh, jumps into view on top of a nearby rooftop, holding the hog-tied black moth as like a up out over the edge. It's a sort of a tacit threat.
Yeah, I do stop on my tracks there.
Hey, Hunter, we came to see you for a fight, not to see you show off your kinks.
Bird flies back to slap Jackrabbit in the face with the other wing.
Esther, Preventia, what are you doing during this tableau?
I'm trying to keep so someone is dangling black moth over something.
The hunter is dangling black moth over a ledge.
Okay. And the dinosaur is there, being a big mechanical dinosaur. And I feel like I'm missing some
Jackrabbit's making some sick burns all over the place.
Right. Okay.
Telling it like it is.
So
Preventia, go
Oh.
ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say the two of us could be an excellent distraction to at least the solar guy and the dinosaur if we start to pull the energy away that they are so focused on.
I would like to do that. I was going to do something first, which is to use tactical genius to point out the obvious flaw in a known foe's plan.
Yes, do that.
Because I think there is actually an obvious one in this case.
Okay.
But I need to reload the stupid roll for your party page because it's not being cooperative.
Tell us the flaw, then roll the dice.
Yeah.
The flaw is that you don't hang something with wings over the edge of a cliff. That is stupid.
Black Moth
Black Moth's all tied up.
And
She can
doesn't
get out
have
of it. She's a
wings.
superhero.
Yeah, but she doesn't have wings though.
Why not? How's she a black moth if she doesn't have wings?
How is Batman? He doesn't have wings. He has a cape.
He has enough gadgets that he can do things that are equivalent to flying. Does Black Moth not have that down?
Fair enough. I'll count that as a flaw. Go ahead and roll
I hope
plus
she at least
savior.
has a grappling hook. I mean, come on.
Definitely my next move is trying to rescue Black Moth, so if you succeed at this, you can give me the bonus for it, right? That's how the move works.
That is the goal, is to to essentially do what I'm supposed to do with Esther, but to have created an opportunity for the next scene for somebody else. Only I cannot relocate the roll for your party page, which I accidentally closed. So if someone could post it again, that would be handy. Thank you. All right. I'm going to roll the pink dice because those are the ones I see. So that's a 9 plus...
Plus your savior is a 10.
Yeah. So and Hunter is the one holding her over?
Yes.
And I'm just like, Jackrabbit, there's no way this guy can kill you. He's holding someone with moth right in the name over a cliff. This guy's an idiot. We've totally got this. I'm not even worried.
I mean, out of character, I'll point out that, even if he is an idiot, so is his quarry.
Yeah, but you
they
have
might
all
be
of
evenly
us.
matched.
You have all of us to protect you, though. Like, we've got your fightiness and all of our brains, and he's got what?
Vencia, you're brilliant. Squall, I'll get Black Moth. Don't worry. And Crow's Mantle will go full crows and surge over there, attempting to like harry the hunter and use some crows to like cut Black Moth's bonds, and then assuming based on Prevencia's insight that Black Moth will be able to grapple away or whatever.
Roll plus savior, +1 because of Preventia's roll.
Okay, that's a +4 total. So there's almost no way this can go wrong.
And then TPK.
No, I rolled a 5, +4 is a 9.
Woohoo!
My only question is, does someone want to spend team from the pool to make that a 10?
I kind of do, since it was my like tactical whatever that got you there. I want to make it super successful.
Sounds good.
Uh,
I think we can say you were like distracting the hunter with your speech.
Nice. And you know what? I'll put that team right back in the pool with my defend bonus. So yeah, no, I'm picturing that Crow's Mantle just in swarm form is like just all around the hunter now. Kind of obviously like birds like pecked right at the hunter's hands to make him drop Black Moth, and then other birds flew by, and like just like with quick beak and claw motions untied Black Moth, and then what does Black Moth do if she doesn't fly, such that she is able to pull out of this fall?
Yeah, the second you peck up and get through the bonds, she pulls out a grappling hook and swings right away. Preventia was right about that. She does have a grappling hook. And yeah, the hunter is thoroughly distracted right now and involved. Esther, it's your time to shine.
Okay, so I will start to pull in as much energy as I can and channel it toward the battery. And hopefully the battery will capture it, and that draw on the energy will also distract both Solar and the dinosaur.
and I'm still at the bat. Like, I yelled those things about like a jackrabbit and the other guy, but I didn't actually go over there and help. So I will be there with the battery to like tinker with it to help it receive the energy.
Sounds
That
great.
was our plan all along, right?
Okay. Unleash my powers?
Yes,
Shall I?
roll plus freak, yeah.
Oh, freak.
That's a +1 for
One.
you, yeah.
Yep. And where? Roll for your party. And well, that's not right. Maybe I'll do it this way. I'm supposed to be turquoise. There we go. I rolled an 8.
Okay.
And +1, that will be a 9.
You have
And-
one team left if you want to spend it to bump it up to a 10.
I'd
There's
like to
also
spend
the
my whole
special team that Prevencia has.
that I can only use with Esther.
Excellent
Ooh,
point.
yay!
I would like to use to bump it up to a 10.
All right, it's a full success. You do it. You just soak up that energy and push it right into that battery.
Awesome. And so I assume that I'm just soaking up some of it that is in the local area that perhaps Prevencia and I might have to work for quite a while to undo the entire astronomical phenomena.
That's fair, but you're definitely causing trouble for Dr. Solar right now.
That's perfect. We shall.
What is the dinosaur doing as all this is happening?
Yeah, between all that's going on, Dr. Solar is panicking and like, no, you simpletons are disrupting my important science schemes, you fools. And as Dr. Solar like thrashes around in his anger. The sort of the dinosaur mimics his movements, and it's just like rah, rah. It would look way more impressive if the robot T-Rex had longer arms.
So Bravencia actually takes offense at the idea that he is called us simpletons and thinks he is the only scientist around here with a brain, and immediately like snaps her head around, like without, taking her hands off the battery. But I would like to try to send Delilah to act like a fly around the giant dinosaur's head, and it won't be able to reach it because of its tiny arms, and to just like ping it with things and like just generally like block its vision. I don't 100% understand how it's connected to the to Solar, but yeah, basically like an Ant-Man, but in tiny toaster assistant form.
I think you're unleashing your powers there. Roll plus freak.
I don't think I have much freak, but that's okay. Freak 0. Okay, so it's a flat roll. I'm gonna roll the pink dice again. So that's a 9. Unless anyone wants to spend team to help me out.
Yeah, I think I'll spend team for that. I think like as this is going on, I think like just to like just to get Dr. Solar's in, I think Squall just lets out like a kind of somewhat desperate because I think she only barely sees what Revenge is doing, so he just starts like the I think she shouts, "Hey, Toby! They're not really a science scheme if they're not that smart."
Yeah, that's awesome. And yeah, Delilah does the fly thing, and then maybe once it's thoroughly confused, like flies around its legs with some rope. Because as we all know, things that are large like that, if you put rope around their legs, they fall over and don't know what to do. And it doesn't have the arms to push itself back up. So
Yeah, you've got the ropes bound for sure, but it's going to need one good push to knock it over. Who wants to do that?
I feel like this is where my hero Jackrabbit.
Sure, I guess I can give it a push with my fists.
Punching something really hard is your skill set.
Yep. What am I rolling with here?
Danger? I think you're directly engaging a threat.
Okay.
Yeah. And as Bravencia has like established, Jackrabbit is like her hero now. She's just like, Jackrabbit, we need you. Like egging him on because she knows he likes the big like complimentary hero talk.
Yeah.
Only you could take on a dinosaur this large.
Okay, and that's a 7.
Okay, so you pick one off the list.
Yeah, and as always, Jackrabbit does not think of his own safety. I'm going to impress, surprise, or frighten my opposition.
Okay, yeah. So if this sounds all right, let me know if this sounds all right. You just barrel forward, and this robot dinosaur is way bigger than you, but you're giving it your all, and it's tied up. Its legs are tied, and you knock it backwards onto those power lines, Squall spotted, and the exotic energies rippling through it just shock it to hell and back, and the robot dinosaur gives one last shudder and then goes still. And as that happens, you hear sort of like a, slow, sarcastic clap from the hunter, like, "Well done, Jackrabbit. I think you might be worth killing this time around."
You're gonna have to go through every single one of us to do that. Says Squall, who's still angry.
and all of the birds around the hunter are saying, kind of like taking turns, right? It's like Corzmental's voice just like pinging between them, saying, not that I can't sympathize with wanting to kill Jackrabbit, but why exactly are you targeting this kid?
Can I say to Esther, you got this? Dope.
Hey.
Was I muted?
Yeah. What was the last thing?
Just, you got this for a minute if I
Oh,
step
yes.
away?
I am, the battery has not even reached a third capacity. We're draining and draining. This is going to work. This is going to work, Bavaria. Bravencia. This is really going to work.
I have complete faith in you, and I'll just be right back. And I'm going to try to sneak up behind the hunter, who I imagine is not even worried about me at all, and punch him in the back of the head. I don't have any punchy skills or any like fighting moves, but I'm going to rely on the element of surprise
You
and
just
try to
take
punch
out
him in the back of the
that
head.
very little known tool, the toast wrench.
The toast wrench. I do probably have something like that, although Delilah is otherwise engaged with the dinosaur, unfortunately. But yeah, I think like Jackrabbit's my
it's an
hero.
adjustable toast wrench, so that you can wrench various sizes of toast.
That is something I probably have. I don't think I'm hitting him with it right now, because probably Delilah has it and is using it on the dinosaur. But I think I would like to just directly engage a threat. And
plus danger.
it may not work. Like, I'm doing this as a character move more as a strategic thing because I don't have any danger or anything else. But like, Jackrabbit carried me around and helped me, and someone wants to hurt him, I'm going to punch that guy in the head. So, oops, that was the wrong button. We'll see. So that's a 7.
Pick one off the list.
I would like to create an opportunity for my allies.
So as Crow's Mantle's talking to the hunter, and you're sneaking up behind him as he goes, like, what do I want from Jackrabbit? The thrill of the hunt, the joy of ripping that power out of his worthless fool of a body. Doesn't even know what he's working with. I can do way more with it than he could ever. And that's when you attack, and I don't think you'd land.
Like I said, typical white guy stuff.
So yeah, you don't quite land a blow enough to hurt him yourself, but you definitely create an opportunity for Crow's Mantle to strike.
I'm sure he's disoriented, at least, from like suddenly being hit in the back of the head out of nowhere.
My only worry is Bravencia didn't resist or avoid the hunter's blows. Is he striking back at her?
Oh yeah. He's distracted, but then he definitely lands a big punch on you, and he's super strong. So, roll to take a
powerful blow.
Absolutely.
Okay. That's a 7. Was a 6, and then it switched because, of course, it did. It was so close to being a 6. How dare it?
On a 7 to 9, you lash out verbally, give ground, or struggle past the pain. Mark 2 conditions.
I'm going to struggle past the pain and mark 2 conditions because I care more about the team than about anything else, and he's attacking Jackrabbit, and I'm not having it. So I'm going to mark afraid, because there is a giant thing. Wait, which box do I? There we go. And angry, because I think I am both. Right.
All of the crows that are around the hunter just kind of converge on him. So suddenly he's kind of mantled in crows, as they say, now all just speaking in unison with Crow's Mantle's voice. It's creepy. As Crow's Mantle says, bad answer and bad idea, in reference to the hunter, taking a swing at Bravencia. and then all the crows just start like beating their wings in unison and like lifting the hunter way up, up, up into the air.
I think you're directly engaging a threat.
Yeah, that sounds like what I'm doing. All right, gonna roll with danger on this one. It's an 8.
Okay, you get to pick one as well.
Yeah. I want to take something from him. His. Yeah, I'll take something from him by like I've lifted him way up in the air, right? And I'm also having like crows, searching through his pockets and like trying to like remove any weaponry that he has, like whatever he uses for his hunting. I've got birds like pulling off of him and flying away with it.
What kind of weapons is to use, Jackrabbit? Jackrabbit?
Right. I think that I think that he is probably of the more I think he probably has like period guns, but I also think he probably has a blade or two hidden on him somewhere.
Like, so just like knife after knife, I'm
Yeah.
uncovering and having birds fly away with them. Yeah.
Okay. But as you do that, he's punching back at the birds. He's swatting a lot of them down, stabbing more than a few too. Roll to take a powerful blow.
Yeah. And like the birds are unblinking, right? Like this is Crow's mantle, is intensely focused on keeping his friends safe here. So he's putting his birds on the line. Oof, that's an 11 though.
Okay then.
There's no way to help with take a powerful blow, right?
Not with that, no. You removed yourself from the situation?
Yeah. I'm going to lose control of my powers in a terrible way.
Yes. Always the best option.
Oh.
Okay then.
And I'm picturing that maybe like flying him up means that I've like intersected with the kind of northern lights in the sky, right? And that starts like interacting with the magic of the crows and like throwing things off in a way that's unexpected and unpredictable. I don't know, how does that sound?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go a little further because it incinerates the first few crows that fly into it, but then the rest, that's something about that power, that sheer energy swirling up there. Your crows want it. They want to steal it and harvest it and like bring it back to their nest, and they're fighting against your control and just flinging themselves up in there to be incinerated one after another. Go ahead and mark your doom track just as you're, having to draw it as the power sort of drawn out of you and it's flinging itself into the.
Can I help?
I was actually just about to ask, can I yell at Esther like, you could do this, I believe in you?
You're going to have a chance to help, but before
right.
that, I think Black Moth grapples her way over to you, Squall, and is like, Squall, what the hell is going on?
There's a situation going on. I think she's looking at the crows who are like feeding themselves energy. I have to save a friend. Sorry. And she's gonna, and Skull's gonna fly off to the sky. And what she's trying to do is she's gonna try to create like this gigantic like windbreak of sort to like fling the crows away from the energy to like keep them at least from flying over there. She's kind of like, look, there are more pressing matters than having to answer the Black Moth at the moment.
Roll to unleash your powers.
Yeah. Okay, so we roll that. All right, that's a 9. And I will mark a condition.
Which one?
I think afraid. because seeing those crows get incinerated is not fun. But yeah, I think I'm I'm probably up in the air, just like barely trying to keep this like windbreak up so that those crows don't keep going there.
So yeah, she's protecting Squall's protecting Crow's mantle from the worst of it for now. Esther, yeah, it's you got you can do something. You're an energy manipulating person. There's a lot of energy flowing around, and you're chock full of stuff already. Feel free to cut loose.
Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to reach toward all the bits of flying crow's mantle, and I will drain them of some life force so they no longer fly up. They begin to fall, and when they have fallen far from the sources of the energy that are higher up, I will, once they're separated enough, I will give them more energy so they no longer feel the pull.
Go ahead and roll to unleash your powers.
Okay. Whoa. All right, I'm just going to clear these. It's a mess. All right. Oh, not so good. I rolled a flat 5.
Your freak is 1, though, right?
Yep, so that's a 6.
And there is Preventia. You do have one, I think, one last bit of special team with Esther, don't you?
You did. I was going to use it to clear my angry condition to try to comfort and support Crow's mantle, but I cannot do that.
It seems like a good time.
I
It's
support you. I support you helping Esther with this because that is also helping me.
So I will put that back, and I guess spend the special team. Do we not have any regular team left? Are we out?
You're out, yeah.
Okay, I will spend the special team.
Do we ever get these individually?
Get what individually?
These points.
Oh, team? No, they're a shared pool for the whole team.
Yeah.
Yes, I know that, but I wondered if there were anything individually. That one
It's kind of
person-
only the. It's kind of the thing. You mean using team selfishly?
No.
Okay.
I
Like
mean,
you-
there's what I had with you based on this move, which is that I could only add them to the team pool if you were with me.
Okay.
But that's like a special move thing.
And there are moves that like there are special moves that a lot of the classes have that let you add team to the pool in different situations. But
Okay.
like, yeah.
Okay.
So on a 7 to 9, you mark a condition, or the results are unstable or temporary. Your pick.
I will take a condition.
Okay, so you do it. Describe what happens.
I am overwhelmed. There's too much energy, and energy is pouring in through me from the sky, and I am also trying to manipulate this tiny bit of energy around this cloud of birds and bring them down and closer. It works. They become almost lifeless. They fall till they get closer to Crow's mantle. I channel energy back into them, and hopefully Crow's mantle at that point can pull them back into himself. They are no longer being pulled upward into enticed by the energy. But I am suffering because of that I've tried to do too many different things with this energy and have to refocus on just the battery.
That
Nice.
sounds good. Yeah, Crow's Mantle, you can unmark that Doom track you just marked.
You are very generous, Kyle. Thank you so much for heeding my pleas. yeah, I'm trying to pull myself together, but definitely there aren't enough crows still in the air for, to hold up the hunter. So the hunter is presumably plummeting unless it turns out the hunter can fly.
He can't. Anyone want to do anything about that? Jackrabbit, I think you're probably the least involved right now if you want to act.
Sure, I'm gonna rip one of the talons off of this fallen dinosaur and like toss it at him and see if I can't pin him to the building.
I think that's unleashing your powers of super strength and whatnot.
Okay, thought it might also be savior.
You know what? I can see that too. Your pick.
Yeah, defending someone by throwing a robot dinosaur claw at them. A normal defending move. No, I totally buy it. I'm just really amused.
Yeah, you know what? Let's make bad decisions for these characters. I'll defend the guy that's trying to kill me.
Great choice.
Oh, did all the okay, they all disappeared. And yeah, that's a 6.
Yeah, you hurl the dinosaur claw at him, and the hunter snatches it out of the air and hurls it right back at you. Take a powerful blow.
Okay. And that's also a 6.
Ooh.
You have I am not my body. Is it a 6 even?
A 6 is good on take a powerful blow.
Yeah.
Right, but couldn't it be even lower?
No, I had no conditions.
Oh, okay.
Somehow.
So yeah, let's see what the exact text is. You stand strong, mark potential as normal, and stay how you weather the blow.
Yep. Yeah, I just I kind of imagine that it comes in and we go into the slow motion and I grab the talon out of the air and just kind of stab it down to the ground in front of me. And I just go, man, I was trying to be a good person. Really? Wait, where is the hunter now anyway? Because he technically grabbed that out of the air and threw it at me.
I think he just hit the air or hit the ground, 3-point stance, landing hard, grunting, but he's standing back up. And yeah, Crow's Mantle wants to do a moment of truth. What do people think?
I just want to check in. Don't want to preempt anyone, but I feel like this could be the moment.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So thanks to the heroic efforts of Squall and Esther and Prevencia, I've pulled some of my birds together, but I lost a bunch to the lights up there. So Crow's Mantle is stumbling forward and just reaches out and ends up pulling that crow he'd left back at the lab to come flying to him, and that crow merges into him, and then he looks and he realizes that he's accidentally merged that arcane bit of runic wood inside of himself. And before he can take in how bad of an idea that is, he has a flash of inspiration of how to make use of that, and kind of reaches out. And this is what the moment of truth text says. It says that prickly feeling of your doom, always in your head. It holds you back most of the time, but right here, right now, it gives you the confidence to do anything. After all, what's the worst that could happen? Is it worse than your doom? Do impossible things. Do anything, but mark a doom sign after you've finished. I think Crow's Mantle holds up his hands, and there's an enormous crack of thunder, and the massive ravens of Odin himself, Munin and Thuman, are there, right? Wings spread wide. One of them swoops down on the hunter, pinning him to the ground. The other one flies up to the northern lights and just kind of like using its wings starts like flapping and blowing and just kind of blowing all of the energy of these lights into that battery that that Esther and Provencia had set up. And kind of like, Crow's Mantle, hovering a few feet off of the ground, encircled by just, the rings of birds flying all around him as he controls these two kind of massive ancient ravens of the Norse pantheon to like shut the hunter down and assist in corralling that shame right out of the sky.
Sounds great. Yeah, I think you've got it. Dr. Solar is down. The Hunter is down. Now's the time to make some last moves as you wrap things up.
You're still the energy, right?
I mean, my intention was that the Raven kind of would be shepherding the energy into the battery, right? Like putting it where you wanted, but kind of using the supernatural aid to make sure that it wasn't escaping, right?
Well, you could also draw on it to complete your transformation. So if you need a huge energy source, that could be available too.
I think Preventia kind of called dibs on helping with that transformation right now. If you finally want to cash in that last bit of your moment of truth to Preventia to like get the doom out of him.
Yeah, I would.
He is looking as doomed as it is possible to look, because I just want to make sure that everyone understands. I've marked every doom sign except for the last one where you confront your doom and perish, and my doom track is at 4 out of 5.
So you hear like a weak voice from the ground, because Provencia doesn't have any super strength or superpowers, and she's been hit really hard by a bad guy, right? So she's like on the ground injured, probably not like mortally wounded or anything, but not super able to move. And you just hear like Gideon, like specifically not using Crow's Mantle, like Gideon.
Yeah, and he turns, like, still looking confused. Like, a lot of him is like caught up in these giant ravens, and it's it's a real effort to even like notice this.
I know you're still in there. The ravens, they're not in charge. You can control them. All of the birds, you've always been able to control them. And now we have the energy. Go over to Esther. We've captured it. Take it in and master this thing. Be your own bird man.
Esther, I assume you help?
Oh, yes. I am hanging out, waiting for him to draw upon the battery. Battery's ready for him.
Yeah, I think like it's clearly a struggle, but buoyed by Provencia's words, he floats over and like just like puts out the hand with the like purple ring on it that's now like they're now like clearly visibly like 6 eyes staring out of the ring as he brings it forward towards this massive energy battery you've created.
Do you need help drawing on the energy, or are...
Probably.
All right, I shall help. I will be the conduit.
Nice.
Do I need
Yeah.
to roll for that?
No, I think you can just narrate it. Yeah.
Okay.
I think we're in moment of truth. We're in moment of truth territory now.
Take his hand with the hand with the ring, and I put my other hand on the battery, whatever it looks like, and I just start channeling energy into him. What he does with it is up to him.
And I think I'm watching from my crumpled heap somewhere, and probably no one can hear it, but just I say like, I always knew he could do it. And then I pass out.
Yeah, and probably there's like a thing where like he like convulses and rears back and energy shoots out of him. Obviously, the energy has now taken the form of the Rainbow Bridge, right? And so like instead of the northern lights in the sky, there is this rainbow bridge surging up, and the giant ravens of Odin fly up the bridge, and like flying after them is like this whole murder of ravens coming out of Crow's mantle. So he sinks down, and like the ring like clatters off of his finger, and he looks normal, but there's just like one feather drifting back down, like landing in front of him, suggesting he still has some connection to this power that he could learn to tap into.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good.
And I will channel some energy into you to help with some healing as well as Prevencia.
Nice. Squall, did you want to say something?
Oh no, I think Squall was like gonna land next to where Breventia is, and I think because she was watching this whole the crow's mantles like Zenchen, but I think she lands next to Breventia's and she sees Breventia unconscious, like uh uh pokes Breventia in the eye. Well, that's not in the eye. Kind of like in the shoulders, like hey, Breventia, you okay?
Rencia's passed out cold, so
You're I don't know. You're still alive. Well, you're missing out. You saved him.
maybe somehow like you see just one corner of the mouth turn into a smile, even though there's no full wake up.
Yeah, Jack Rabbit, the hunter, is just gonna sort of glare up at you and be like, okay, you won this round, boy, but I'll be back. I'll come for you again. I'll get that power.
I think. So where is he in relation to me now?
He's on the ground where a giant raven smashed him into the pavement.
Look, I mean, Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna try to smack him in the head and see if I can't tap into my spirit side to unleash the mystical energy he's stolen for himself from him. Exorcism by a punch and it smacks to the head.
You know what? I think that's directly engage a threat because you're going to take that mystical power out of him.
Okay. Yeah. And that's a 13.
Yeah, you do it. You just punch the mojo right out of him. Want to narrate it, or?
Yeah, I think I like, it's kind of one of those things where like I punch into him and we kind of flash over to like the spirit realm and I'm all glowing and I like punch the glowiness, like I punch through him and like the glowiness like disperses and is released back into the world. And look, I don't know why it is I have these powers, but something tells me it's because assholes like you shouldn't have them.
Yeah, and with the power not out of him, the hunter can't even talk, had nothing to say in response, probably can't even speak, just sort of like looks up at you in shock and awe and then passes out.
I am going to run over and grandfather.
Oh,
I-
right.
well,
I kind of well, look, I'm sorry. Like, there's a thought that runs through his head. Like, maybe I should like back away now, but I'm like, no. Look, I'm sorry, but you saw that really he was being pretty much a massive bag of dicks at the moment, right? Right?
uh, at least you didn't kill him. I don't even understand. He was doing good. He was doing really good.
He was helping a guy in a giant dinosaur attack the city.
I don't think he was helping
Look,
him.
I'm just saying, Crowsmantle, out of character, you just have to translate anything I say as Jackrabbit into the 1890s. Because
Fair enough.
I will call. I will try to help my grandfather. A little bit, and then call for a pedicab ambulance to take him away. I can't believe you.
I don't think you need to roll for that. This is well within your domain. So the cops are showing up because the other heroes, because it's finally been long enough for them to be like, oh hey, the dinosaur. We should probably do something about that.
Mhm.
Ambulance arrives, and as this is all settling out, Black Moth sidles up to you, Squall, and is like, so, your team is clearly capable of far more than I realized.
Yeah.
yeah, not a single one of us got kidnapped.
I was ambushed.
Yeah, they're doing really well. I'm assuming that this is like me next to Provencia when Backmont settles up.
I think so, yeah.
Jackrabbit heard that. Backmont shot something up. Oh. Backmont, did you used to have a team?
Not for a while. I thought they were holding me back.
Well, if they're as good as a team that I've got, they'll probably be up for seeing each other again,
I think you're right, Squall. And yeah, she holds out a hand for you to shake. I think you're one hell of a hero.
Well, I'm getting there. And she takes the hand. And and then after the shake is like, I should probably take care of, points to Provencia.
Yeah, and then like Jackrabbit awkwardly budges into this nice moment, throws his armor over your shoulder. Hey, Squall, they want a photo of us with the giant dinosaur tooth, and I'm holding this massive fang in my hand.
Can we take care of, points again to Provencia, who's on the ground.
I think at this point, like Gideon, who is not particularly Crowsmantly at the moment, has come over and is like helping Provencia up. Possibly like mostly carrying her, but right with her to try and make sure she's all right.
And I think that might be a good place to call it a wrap. Sound good to everyone?
Can we have epilogues?
Yes. Let's go through and do an epilogue, everyone. Let's start with Provencia. You've been unconscious for the last little bit. What's our last little scene of you?
I think I've been carried back to my house. And I probably have one of those fainting couches. And I'm going to assume that Esther would sort of channel a bit of energy into me, in between that and time passing. I would wake up and I'm a little bit bruised and battered, but on the whole, pretty okay. And I sort of look up at Squall first and I say, I had a dream. You told me that Crow's mantle was going to be okay.
not really a dream, but he can tell you that.
Okay. And then I look over at Jackrabbit and I just grin and say, I wasn't even worried. And I look over at Esther and I just give her a look that communicates, I think, everything that needs to be communicated about working together and what an excellent job she did. And then the last thing I do is look over at Crow's Mantle because I don't know how it all played out.
Yeah, and Gideon's wearing like like a linen suit so like instead of being like all dressed in black like he has always been, it's like a healthy looking Gideon Rookwood in like white or off white, and he gives you a big smile.
Then I guess it's all right then. Maybe I'll just rest some more then, a little bit.
Oh, and someone brings you over a tray with like 9 pieces of toast, and all of them have different condiments on them.
I love you all so much. I pick up a piece of cinnamon toast and there are like crumbs all over me. And I sort of like lay back down as I munch.
Nice. Who wants to go next? Esther?
Sure. Esther's moment of truth. The other superheroes show up. The press shows up. And for the first time, Esther is confronted by the press, and they are not accusing her of evil, accusing her of wrongdoing. They say, Esther, we saw what you did. You brought those birds down and helped Crow's Mantle. We saw what you did. You did good. Maybe we were wrong about you. And so she, Jackrabbit. So then she says, she participates in the interview for the first time. And I imagine that she has spent much of her life alone, no friends, no notoriety, everyone. And so I imagine at the end of this, she feels much closer to her team. And maybe if Provencia, you're up for this, she even invites Esther to come live in her building, since Esther has been living in this tenement for young unmarried women.
Oh, yeah. Provencia would love to have Esther as a roommate.
And we can work on more projects together.
Yeah, I think Provencia would like nothing more. Other than maybe a hug from Jackrabbit sometime, but she's not holding her breath.
Speaking of Jackrabbit, you can go next. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, I think Jackrabbit dates Dimitri for a little while, but let's face it, that probably falls apart because honestly, I think honestly, Dimitri probably wants to date someone with any common sense at all. And I think he gets a little bit more serious after that. He starts trying to actually learn about what his powers are about. And then a giant brontosaur attacks the city, and there are some photographs of him like riding it around like a rider at a rodeo. And yeah, I think that's where you leave the image on.
Nice. Squall?
Yeah, I think the general gist is like, she stays on the house and she's a superhero. I do kind of want to do like a flash forward to adventures that'll never come because this is the last session.
You can be on there on the brontosaur with me.
maybe she was there just being like, ah, God, doing her thing. Just like we're 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 meant to pacify it, not agitated Jackrabbit, that sort of thing. But I think we get like a couple shots of Squall, like driving off from the from the Rookwood estate. Probably staying over there for quite a bit every now and then. And she hears that because she heard a report that Dr. Solar is in town. Oh boy, here we go. And I think that just she's driving up to the point like there's this mysterious silhouetted figure who like points a finger at her car, and like this invisible, it's almost like these invisible kind of explosions start like popping off, and they kind of explode at Squall's car, and it kind of flings her, tips her car, and as she's calling out, this mysterious like silhouetted figure who's wearing a very jaunty hat is stepping out into the light, and you hear it's really silly. You hear this voice just going, "Hey sis, you're not the only one who can get on the train and find adventure." And and step into the light. Yes, of course. It's someone who looks exactly like Squall. Let's say, because of course, let's make her an evil twin. Why not? And she kind of blows her finger as if like she just fired a gun. And yeah, the adventure continues, I guess.
Nice. All right. Last word, Crow's Mantle.
Yeah. So I think this probably slots in, be sometime before or after Squall's epilogue there, because if it's all right, I want to see. So maybe this is sometime when Squall has come to visit the Rookwood Manor, which Gideon has taken over and like tried to like cheer up a little bit, right? Added some nicer details. There's probably like a cross stitch on the wall and like a toaster in the kitchen, and just he's hung on to some of the arcane stuff because he still wants to study that and figure out what he can do with it, right? But yeah,
you have a nice gilded cage for your uncle now.
Yeah, of course. Probably I did have to turn him over to the wizards to smooth things over, actually. So he's saying, Squall, I've been doing a little detective work of my own because, I wanted to ask you something, and it seemed like there was only one way to do it. And he's fishing something out of his pocket. He says, "Don't worry. I had the wizards check this one out, and they've confirmed it's definitely not cursed in any way, shape, or form." As he holds out a ring and says, "Nellie Coleman, will you marry me?"
And I think that's a wrap. Thank you, everyone. Had a lot of fun doing this. People brought a lot of great concepts and great energy to this. It was a lot of fun this month. Yeah. Thank you all very much. I think I'm going to finish the recording, and we can do a debrief after this, or I know it's getting pretty late, so if any of you just want to call it a night and head off to bed, that's cool too. All right.